For 4.5 billion years, half of the moon existed in total darkness. Not because it was night, because we could never see it. And then, in October 1959, a Soviet spacecraft crossed 240,000 miles of nothing and brought back the first photograph of a world that had been hidden since before humans walked upright. That photograph changed everything, and almost nobody talks about it anymore. The moon is tidally locked to Earth. That means the same face has been staring at us since before dinosaurs existed. The far side, the hidden hemisphere, was pure mystery. Astronomers could calculate its existence. They could predict its gravity, but they had never seen it. It was like knowing someone lives in the house next to you, but the door has been locked for 4.5 billion years. Until Lunar 3. The Soviet Lunar 3 spacecraft was no larger than a refrigerator. It weighed 614 kilograms, less than 3 grand pianos. On the 7th of October, 1959, it traveled farther than any human creation had ever gone. It didn't land. It didn't even orbit close. It swung around the moon at a distance of 6,200 kilometers, farther away than the width of the continental United States. And in that brief moment as it passed, its cameras fired. The transmission took 3 days to reach Earth. The signal was so faint that the receiving station in the Soviet Union had to amplify it 100,000 times just to make out the image. Scientists huddled around the screens in Moscow, watching line by line as the far side of the moon revealed itself for the first time in human history. What they saw was shocking. It wasn't the mirror image of the near side. It was violent, cratered, wounded. The far side wasn't smooth like the familiar face we see from Earth. It was a geography of catastrophe. Mountains stacked on mountains. Impact basins older than continents. Geological scarring that suggested the moon had taken a battering we couldn't even comprehend from Earth's perspective. The near side has vast plains of dark basalt that look peaceful, calm. The far side looked like a battlefield that had been raging for billions of years. Scientists realized immediately, the moon wasn't uniform. It had a story. A violent, asymmetrical story written in stone. But here's what nobody understood at the time. Those photographs from Lunar 3 were grainy, imperfect. Scientists spent decades arguing about what they actually showed because the images were barely better than looking through a snowstorm. Some of the details were unclear. Some craters were mystery. Some features couldn't be confirmed. Then, 50 years later in 2009, NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, a spacecraft with imaging technology that would have seemed like science fiction in 1959, entered lunar orbit and began mapping. Not the near side, the far side, in detail, in color, in a resolution so sharp you could see boulders the size of houses. What they found validated Lunar 3 completely, but it also revealed something Lunar 3 could never have shown. The far side wasn't just different, it was profoundly different. The crust on the far side is thicker, sometimes twice as thick as the near side. The mountains are higher, the impact basins are deeper, the gravity anomalies are more extreme. And scientists finally understood why. Early in the moon's history, roughly 4 billion years ago, a collision reshaped it. Not a single impact, a sustained bombardment. And because the moon is tidally locked, one side took the brunt of it. The far side, the side that was always turned away from Earth's protective gravity, the side that faced the void. For billions of years, the far side had been taking hits that the near side never experienced. It bore the scars of a cosmic violence the near side was shielded from by our planet's gravity well. In other words, the moon has a hidden side not just because we can't see it. It has a hidden side because it's been shaped by forces we were barely even aware of until we could finally look. That first Lunar 3 photograph, fuzzy, barely legible, taken by a refrigerator-sized Soviet probe in 1959, was the moment humanity realized we didn't know our closest neighbor at all. We had been staring at the moon our entire existence and seeing only half the story. 50 years of better telescopes, better satellites, better understanding, and what we discovered was that the half we couldn't see was so different, so violent, so shaped by forces beyond our comprehension that it made us realize something even deeper. We live in the shadow of things we can't see. Our planet has been shaped by forces we didn't know existed. The moon's far side was hidden not just by geometry, it was hidden by our own limitations. Our perspective, our inability to turn around and look at the full picture of the system we inhabit. That Lunar 3 photograph wasn't just the first image of the moon's far side. It was the first time humanity understood that we were standing in the dark, looking at stars, unable to see half of what was closest to us.